So now let's move on from virtual programming lab to virtual labs and MHRD initiative. If you haven't done this exercise of virtual programming lab, please finish off that and then come here so that you will have more clarity on this virtual labs, right? And this virtual lab, the main initiative is to give remote access to labs for students who are not able to access or use highly sophisticated labs. Okay, so and here now during this lockdown, we'll be able to use this virtual lab effectively. Okay, and this virtual lab, there are 12 participating institutes, all IITs, Amrita, COE Pune, NIT Karnataka, and Dayalbag Educational Institute. And we at LISIT, we are a nodal center, and for each nodal center, there will be a coordinator, the one among all these 12 participating institute. So, as far as South Indian colleges are concerned, Amrita is the coordinator for our nodal center. Okay, so let's move on. Go to your browser and you can select vlab.co.in. When you come down, you have virtual labs across all streams. Okay, let me give you an example of computer science and engineering. Right. I have several lab from the latest soft computing lab, artificial neural networks lab. These are all trending labs as far as computer science domain is concerned. And you do have the basics lab like data structures, problem solving, software engineering labs, and etc. So we can utilize, we can share this to the students, ask them to practice all this, and they do have some exercise which the student can execute. Okay, so let me take an example of say data structures. Okay, so one, if you have studied about virtual programming lab, then this is almost similar to it. See here, what do? We give a description, right, in virtual programming lab. Similar to that, in data structures, they have given some introduction, they have given objective of this lab, and they are given a set of experiments, and they are given the target audience, the course alignment, right? So list of experiments, let me take say bubble sort. Okay, the first experiment, bubble sort. So under this bubble sort, see how they have organized. Um, they have the concept, the algorithm, the demo, the practice, exercise, and the quiz. So what we can do is, whichever lab we are going to handle for the upcoming semester, if it is part of this virtual lab, then we can share this link to the students and ask them to work on it. Okay, let me take, let's see, bubble sort. It's very simply what to say. It's given in very simple steps, so you'll be able to understand better. See the basic concept, the algorithm, the demo they have given, right? So if you give the click start, they will show how the sorting is done using this bubble sort algorithm. See, even you can control the speed if you want to. If you're a slow learner, then maybe you can take some time to understand this. You could see how they are giving practice with the demo of this bubble sort, right? Then they are giving you a bubble sort set of elements, and they're asking you to practice, right? And then you have the bubble sort exercise which the student could do it. For example, let me say I need to sort. Okay, so I can swap, then I click next. I can swap, next, next again I can swap because 27 has to come first, right? Next again I can swap, next, next again here 78 and 57 has to come first. Next again I can swap because 27 has to come first. Next swap, next 74 has to come. Okay, and next again this is fine, but here I need to swap. Next, on this order 57, 74, 78 is fine, but here again I have to swap. Next is then again I have to swap. Right, next. So 46, 57, 74, 78 is in order, and then 27, 20. Let me swap. Now you see it is sorted. So let me check if my answer is correct. I give submit. It tells my answer is correct, right? So this way you can ask the students to get practice to the basic data structure algorithms, right? So likewise for each domain you have so many experiments. You can browse through all that, and you do have some simulators wherein you can execute and see, right? So this is for electronics and communication, and this can be given to the students. If not, like in case you don't have any of these labs, maybe you can select a lab which is a recently trending one. You can ask the students to practice this, and this can be considered as a content beyond syllabus. Okay, so virtual lab, you access to vlab.co.in, and you have all these domains and you can browse and see. This is just to give you an awareness that similar to what you develop in your virtual programming lab, we do have some remote access lab provided by these participating institute like IITs, Amrita and so on. Okay, and then for Amrita, we have a separate URL, vlab.amrita.edu. Through this URL, you can access the labs that is provided by Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, right? So for this Amrita lab, you have some login credentials. I have already shared the login credentials to the heads of the department. I'll also share it once again. Okay, so you have to log in. If you want to use this vlab.amrita.edu, you need to log in. Other virtual labs, you can use it without any login credentials. Okay, so now I have logged into this, and here you have a list of labs, remote access lab provided by Amrita. Okay, as far as computer science is concerned, we have wireless sensor network remote triggered lab, right? So this is it. This virtual labs will definitely help you to give an awareness to the students on the latest labs, especially like you take artificial computer science is concerned, artificial intelligence lab, neural networks lab. That will be really helpful to the students. So give a try once you're comfortable using virtual programming lab. This virtual lab will be very useful to you, and you please give a try and let me know how you feel. Okay, thanks a lot for listening.